I really don't know if there's anything called a triple edge sword, but there's a lot of confusion happening right now, a lot of confusion, and I want you to continue to stay on top of it, be concerned because of what is happening. The recent announcement by Trump administration about the 25% tariff with on any country buying oil from Venezuela is going to hit these carbon islands like a ton of bricks. And I hope tomorrow, when these prime ministers meet with Rubio, that they don't just allow him to dictate to them, but let him know what the time it is for the Caribbean and what our needs are and demand that we get our needs met. You can't just be dictating. The 25% tariff on any country that buys oil from Venezuela and trade with the US is a problem. In Grenada, Spice Gas usually get their gasoline from Venezuela. What do you think is going to happen to Grenada if it doesn't comply with that order? Hmm? You see the kind of thing that is happening out here, and people, and when we talk about these things, people are talking about, oh, well, they have the right to do what they want. Yes, America have the right to do what they want to do. So do we. And we must kowtow to these nonsense.
President Donald Trump has announced a new measure targeting Venezuela, which could have unintended consequences for Grenada. On Monday, Trump revealed that any country purchasing oil or gas from Venezuela will face a 25% tariff on all trades with the United States. The secondary tariff will take effect on April the 2nd. The move is in response to what Trump described as Venezuela sending, quote, tens of thousands of violent individuals to the U.S. This development raises concerns for Grenada, as the Spice Gas brand sources its supply from Venezuela. Spice Gas is the name used for the liquefied petroleum gas, or LPG, distributed by Gavin Plus Grenada Limited, the authorized operator of the Petrocaribe Grenada Limited LPG filling plant. While Grenada doesn't import large quantities of oil from Venezuela directly, it is part of the wider Caribbean region, which has long-standing energy ties to Venezuela through the Petrocaribe initiative. Petrocaribe has provided Caribbean nations with favorable terms for purchasing oil from Venezuela. If the U.S. tariffs are enforced, it could disrupt the regional energy market, driving up the cost of oil and gas for countries reliant on cheaper Venezuelan supplies. The government has yet to comment on this development.
So prepare to go back to firewood. Firewood and coal pot. I don't think none of you will have problem with that in the Caribbean. Get back to firewood and coal pot, because that's where they want to send us back. I just can't imagine what would happen around here. And then you have Trinidad in the mix with the gas deal. Remember when I told you, Rowley said that if the Dragon gas deal goes sour, Trinidad cuckoo is cooked? Well, it's practically cooked. Yeah, it's practically cooked now. And I hope when Stuart meets with Rubio tomorrow, he tells him about that. If you see us losing the U.S. Office of Foreign Assets Control license, as you will see in the news, if that happens, then you know that your cuckoo is cooked. If you see Venezuela not allowing us to use the Dragon gas field, then you know what? We are in difficulty. It's quoted in TT Daily Express. So now that they have put sanctions on Venezuela, minus the Chevron license, what the hell do you think is going to happen here with Trinidad and Tobago and Venezuela and the Dragon gas deal? That deal is in jeopardy. Basically done. He asked the Chevron license because he said Maduro did not meet the democratic conditions for last July. He's sending back all of what he called the criminals back to Venezuela, which he has a right to do. Where do you think they're going to end up in? Venezuela? They're going to stay there? No, they're going to end up in Trinidad and Guyana. Many of them will transit themselves into Trinidad and Guyana and pose further problem for these islands. I'm not saying that the U.S. doesn't have a right to deport them. They have a right to. I'm just saying what is becoming of us. That's all I'm saying. And this deal in the Dragon gas field, Rowley did say, if that falls true, Trinidad's cuckoo will be cooked. So I hope when Stuart goes there tomorrow, he doesn't just look good, but he talks and tell them what is happening and tell them what time it is. So that's a problem not only for Trinidad, but then you have Guyana's problem too. Because on Monday, when Trump said on Truth Social that Venezuela has been very hostile to the United States and they purposefully send criminals and all sorts of high level criminals and murderers to his country, and he's sending them back, and then he's putting on this secondary tariff. Huh? Guyana in problems too, because these people are going to find themselves over there as well. And then they have a second problem with Venezuela, where they had the naval incursion. And when we talk about these things, people talk about we are scaremongering and we want to frighten people. This is not frightening. This is reality. Prepare for it. It is the reality. It is our new reality. It's back to firewood and coal pot very soon. That's just the way it is. And we will talk about it from now until people get it in the system that if we don't collaborate as one Caribbean, this is the time for it. If we don't, we'll be to our own destruction. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, guys.